So our body must get rid of waste and other substances that it does not need. Otherwise, it will not function well. So it will interfere. The waste will interfere to the normal functions of our body systems. So there are two types of uh, waste that is produced by the body. So for the first one, we have the solid waste, and the second one is metabolic waste. Metabolic waste are waste produced by chemical reactions such as respiration, hydrolysis, synthesis, and neutralization. So the process of removing this metabolic waste is known as excretion. So, while solid waste or digestive waste, so sila yung nanggagaling from the food that we eat, and we call that process as egestion. So, again, egestion for the removal of the solid waste and excretion for metabolic waste. The major metabolic waste that we have from our body are water, carbon dioxide, salts, and urea. Next that we have is the organs of excretion. So we have the lungs, liver, kidney, and the skin. So first, as the lung. So as we have studied earlier, early living cell in our body undergoes cellular respiration. It is a process that provides energy for cellular activities. And then we also have, as respiration occurs, we inhale and we exhale. So we excrete or we remove carbon dioxide as the waste product. So the lungs are responsible for the excretion of carbon dioxide. So also, may nakalagay dyan na water vapor. So water vapor also leaves the lungs during exhalation. The second organ for excretion is the liver. So the liver is a versatile organ because of its numerous functions. So it is a part of the digestive, circulatory, and the excretory system. As an excretory organ, the liver removes excess amino acids, and we call that process as deamination. Because the amino acids are broken down into smaller pieces, so that is what we call as deamination. And through that, they form the urea, which is included in the urine or excreted in our urine. The next organ of excretion is kidney. So, in the kidney, they are the major organs of the urinary system. They remove almost most of the body waste that we have. They act as water purifier. They purify blood also by filtering out various substances including water, salt, digested food particles, and nitrogenous waste. Nitrogenous waste, also known as urea. So, yun na yung galing dun sa deamination. Deamination, tama. So, this waste makes up the urine. So, after that, the urine will be collected in the urinary bladder, and then it will go out through the urethra. So, later on, madi-discuss pa naman siya. The next organ of excretion are the sweat glands. But then, yung organ natin doon is yung skin. So, in our skin, meron tayong sweat glands, diba? Those sweat glands produce water and salt also and urea to diffuse into the pores. Ayan. So, para lumabas siya dun sa pores ng skin natin so that our body will cool off and some metabolic waste are being excreted also through the sweat glands. So, for the next one, the parts of the kidney. So, the kidney kidneys are bean-shaped organs. So they are located at the back of the abdomen. So if you put, if you're going to put your hands doon sa waist natin, ayan, sa waist, kung saan nakapoint yung tip ng thumb natin, doon located yung kidney. So each kidney is divided into two sections, the outer section and the inner section. So the outer section is called as the cortex. So the cortex contains about 1.25 million of nephrons. So the cortex is also known as the filtering layer of the kidney because it contains the nephrons. So each nephron has a cup-like structure known as the Bowman's capsule. So this Bowman's capsule is connected to a tubule known as the loop of Henle. So yun yung connected dun sa Bowman's capsule. So the middle layer is known as the medulla, and it is the collecting layer. Then, the tubes carrying filtered waste travel from the cortex through the medulla to the pelvis. So the pelvis is a funnel-shaped area where all of the collecting tubules come together. So tingnan natin dito sa part sa illustration. So we have here the cortex, which is the outer section. So, ito, lahat yan, yung pumapalibot dyan, meron yung nephrons. So, yung nephrons, doon na filter yon. Ayan. So, papakita ko naman muna sa inyo itong medulla. So, later, makikita nyo yung illustration ng Bowman's capsule and the Henle, which are located in the nephrons. Ayan, dun sa part ng nephrons. We have here the middle layer. Ito yon, medulla. And then, the collecting layer, which is the pelvis. So, ito yung renal pelvis. So, medulla. So, galing sa cortex, pupunta sa medulla, and then pupunta sa renal pelvis. And ito naman yung shape niya. So, alam nyo na rin yung adrenal gland is located at the top of the kidneys. Next. So, how does filtration occur? Since the kidneys filter blood, a couple of blood vessels are attached directly to each kidney. So, these are the renal artery and the renal veins. As we know, in blood circulation, arteries carry oxygenated blood. So, it is from the heart, while renal veins or the veins are blood vessels that returns the blood back to the heart. So the first one, the renal arteries carry oxygen or oxygenated blood into the kidneys. So when the blood gets into the kidneys, it travels into smaller arteries. And then, after the smaller arteries, it will enter a cluster of capillaries known as the glomeruli. So, this is parts of the nephron. So, yung nephron, meron siyang cluster of capillaries known as the glomeruli. Kapag singular, glomerulus. So, each glomerulus, ito yon, is surrounded by the Bowman's capsule. So, ito yung Bowman's capsule. It is here where the urea, salts, water, glucose, and other materials pass from the blood through the loop of Henle. So, ang loop naman ng Henle ay ito. So, we have ascending and descending loop of Henle. So, kung galing siya dito sa glomerulus, so ito yung ating descending loop. Pagpataas naman, ito yung ating ascending loop. Okay? Next, saan na pupunta after the loop of Henle? So, as these materials or the filtrate travel through the tubule, much of the water and other useful substances are filtered from the blood and they are being reabsorbed into the surrounding capillaries. So, these capillaries are connected to the renal vein. So, yung renal vein natin, which transports the filtered blood back to the heart. So, from the glomerulus, which is surrounded by the Bowman's capsule, the blood is being transferred through the loop of Henle. And then the nephrons, capillaries, renal vein, and back to the heart. Next, yung liquid na naiwan is after reabsorption will become a part of the urine. Ayan, together with the salts, glucose, and other metabolic waste. Next is the excretion of urine. So, our body produces about 1 liter of urine each day. In the inner section of the kidney, the urine passes through the collecting tubules that drain into the pelvis. Ayan. So, yung pelvis natin kanina dun sa parts of the kidney. So, mapupunta siya dun. Galing dun sa tubules. Pupunta sa pelvis. And then, after that, the pelvis is connected to a tube called the ureter. So, ureter. Ito naman yung ureter. Ito yung renal pelvis. And then, connected siya sa ureter. And then, after that, it will transport the waste sa ating urinary bladder. So, ito naman yung urinary bladder. Yung waste natin dyan is in the form of urine. So, eventually, the urine passes out of the body through a tube found at the bottom of the bladder called as the urethra. So, pagkatapos dito, sa urinary bladder, meron dyang urethra, which is the passageway palabas. We have their sphincters. So, kagaya dun sa digestive system, di ba, meron dun mga sphincters. The sphincters function are for contraction of muscles, contraction and relaxation of muscles. Kapag maglalabas na ng urine, so kailangan niyang mag-relax at mag-contract. Contract in order to push the urine, and then relax in order to release the urine. So, we have there the internal sphincter and external sphincter. Okay, so that is excretory system.